All statements and opinions expressed by guests of the Adult in the Room podcast are strictly their own and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs or opinions of the host, producers, or advertisers. All interviews are presented in their most complete possible form in the interests of free speech. No statements should be interpreted as financial, legal, or medical advice. Listener and viewer discretion are strongly advised.
It's the Adult in the Room podcast with Victoria Taft. That's me.
How you doing? It's Victoria Taft, the Adult in the Room podcast. Honestly, live later in the evening, just checking out what's going on in Portland. And the reason we're doing it tonight is because today was the No Kings protest. And the No Kings protest was the pre-function for Antifa violence against ICE. And that was always the plan, at least in the city of Portland. And so that is why I've asked my friend, longtime colleague, Mike Strickland, to come on, because here's a guy who was the first person in Portland, a reporter who was beaten up by Antifa, and as Katie Davis-Stewart, as Chelly, the honey badger mom, can tell you that they have openly and routinely beaten these people up. Mike Strickland, thanks very much as we sort of look at what's going on in Portland right now.
Yeah, I would say thanks for having me, but it kind of sucks to have to be in these situations in the first place.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I wish I didn't have to come on and talk about how terrorists have free reign to beat and rob people in the streets.
Right. And that's what's going on, and not necessarily at this very moment, but obviously there are people who are allowed to get away with certain things and other people who are not allowed to get away with certain things. And tonight, there was a little byplay between the people who had decided to come up after the No Kings protest in Portland to the ICE headquarters, and it took hours, but eventually, of course, they crowded around the ICE facility, which is no bueno, by the way. That's a security issue. That's not a good thing. Mike, tell everybody why you're here tonight.
Well, I had started off, I guess, just as like a citizen journalist for several years, covering a lot of the underground political stuff in the area. I figured there's enough people commenting on what the governor's doing or what this, federal Senate's doing, but there weren't a lot of people covering what's actually going on the street level. So that's kind of what I started at. I was covering things going on at the protests, covering things brewing at the universities, a lot of things that are mainstream now. This whole, hate whitey thing, the whiteness thing, that started in the universities. All the transgender stuff started in the universities.
Sure.
I was covering this stuff, 10, 12 years ago. And so, Antifa was actually one of the organizations that I had heard of from back then. They were a real small group at that point in time. And as the whole Trump thing started getting bigger and bigger there as 2015 and 2016 wore on, the protests were getting a lot bigger. And in July of 2016, and this had turned into actually my main line of work, covering these events for news organizations. I was blogging, and I was working for Gateway Pundit and a couple other things. News outlets from across the world were buying footage from me. So this had turned into my actual job. So I was out there covering protests there July 7th, 2016. And that's when the mob decided they had had enough of me filming them saying and doing stupid stuff. And so they decided to come after me. They were led by a guy named Benjamin Carenza, who literally weighs twice my weight. He literally weighs 400 pounds. And him and a bunch of other guys with masks over their faces, long before COVID was a thing, and weapons in hand. I've personally seen these people use flagstaffs as weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Out windows and whatnot. So that's what they're carrying. They surround me. They just start pushing and shout, "Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here." And I'm like, "Whoa, dude, don't put your hands on me." Not gonna fight. Obviously, these guys are there to fight. So I'm trying to back away. I'm just trying to do my job. I'm just standing there holding the camera. I'm not trying to argue with people. I'm not trying to debate with people. So I start backing away. These guys start taking steps towards me. So I'm trying to exit the scene now. They started to fight. I don't want to fight. I'm backing away. They are showing intent that they mean to continue the fight. And long story short here, I eventually drew down on these guys because they kept coming after me. They were surrounding me from more angles, coming in and out towards me. So I eventually drew down on them. Now, there were no police to be seen at this protest.
Right.
This was the first major protest in the streets of Portland where the police decided to do their hands-off approach. And look what happens. We're left to fend for ourselves, which I have no problem doing. So I fend for myself because I'm in danger. Here's all these guys bigger than me with weapons coming after me.
Yeah.
And so I draw down on them. Fortunately, that was finally enough to get them to leave me alone. My gun was out for 7 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
They had stopped at that point. So fortunately, I did not have to shoot anyone.
Right.
I was taught to use minimal force necessary to neutralize the threats. So I reholstered. And then eventually the police came along. They threw me on the ground, dragged me into jail. I'm trying to explain what happened. I was attacked by a gang. There's the guy standing right there who led the gang because he had followed me up the block as I was trying to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all on my video camera. My actions were purely in self-defense to prevent them from doing major harm to me. Police did not care one iota about anything I had to say. The DA started citing all these false reports the next day when I showed up for the arraignment. So this set the precedent for the courts, the judges, the prosecutors, the police to say, okay, gangs, you now have the legal right and lawful authority. If you see someone on the street you don't like, feel free to rough them up. If they fight back, if they try to stop you from roughing them up, that's who we're going to arrest.
Right.
So violence is now incentivized. It's rewarded. The police are nowhere around to save you. The police do rush in. Even if you're the one beaten, they're going to arrest you and drag you off to jail. And that set the precedent for that. And that set the precedent for everything that we're seeing today.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, there have been people, for example, Honey Badger Mom, who is going to come on the live stream at some point when I can find her feed. I don't think she's live streaming at the moment, so I'm kind of concerned about that. Anyway, but she's going to come on. And she's, for example, being sued by a person who was about to hit her with a flagpole, which we all know about, and she pepper sprayed her. And as a result, now her free lawyer from the Lawyers Guild or the ACLU are now going to bring Honey Badger Mom into court, seek discovery, and run her through the mill, and she has to pay for thousands of dollars of lawyers for no reason. She did it in self-defense, but for whatever reason now, this is a civil lawsuit, obviously, at this point in time, and she was not cited or anything. Honey Badger Mom wasn't cited. Indeed, the person who was wielding the weapon should have been cited. But guess what? No cops around. This has happened time and again. Nick Sorter's the guy who gets busted. He's getting roughed up, and he does the right thing, and he gets carted off to jail. I mean, it's absurd. It's happened over and over and over. Katie Davis Court. She gets wonked in the eye with, guess what? A flagstaff, because that's not a flagstaff. It's a weapon. And so she has to hunt down the individual who did it. She found the individual or they were going off down toward the Antifa flop house / safe house. And she got cops to come, or a cop. But he was one of those cops that doesn't actually do anything.
The liaison cop.
Yeah, but there's that other word for him, the dialogue police officer, the dialogue officer. It's like, you know what that's dialogue for? A guy who doesn't do anything. That's what that's, down for. So she gets the cop over there, and the cop won't cite the person. She won't do anything. So he let her go. That's just BS.
I try to warn people, if you're going to go down there, make sure you have bail money.
Yeah.
Make sure that you have first aid kit. Make sure you have expanding wound plugs. Because, you're going to get beaten. You're going to get robbed. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to be the one arrested.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I wish it wasn't like that, and it's really tough. Like, I understand. We are taught to trust the police, trust the authorities, trust the system. But when that system lets us down, when we see them openly siding with terrorist organizations, what are we left to do? And it's interesting. You're talking about the flagstaffs being used as weapons. This was something that Judge Thomas Ryan, in my case, told me I had nothing to worry about. Nope, you weren't about to get beaten down. Nope, not at all. No reason to draw your gun.
Yeah. These guys. And I think maybe they don't even get it. They officially don't get it right now because they've made the choice, the conscious choice to not get it, to pretend that Antifa is no big deal. They're not even a group. They're nothing official, for crying out loud. They don't count as a terrorist organization. But I'll tell you something. If you were, let's say, you were on the field of battle and you said, well, I wonder if this is an actual foe. Well, they got a uniform. They're usually black bloc. They have a flag. They have cannon. So they have literature to which they refer. They have a handbook. They have oaths they take. I say oaths. They're the chants that they do. That's still an oath to them. This is a religious expression for them. And they have a uniform, as I've said. So they actually have all of the things that it would take for any person to be able to identify them as an organized criminal enterprise. So let's see if this thing works, okay? Let's just check out. Honey Badger Mom put this out on X a little while ago, and this was the point. I had her all queued up to go, and somehow I lost it. So here it is. This is a point at which there is scads of people down there, and I don't know if you can see this, Mike. Tell me if you can. So oh my goodness, we're just fuzzy animals here.
And so this is like the contrast between the official No Kings protest versus what happens at night. And this is part of their what they would call diversity of tactics sort of thing. So the general rule of thumb that they have is, daytime, that's when they have all the old hippies out there. That's when they have the children. That's when they have little puppies and everything looks nice.
Right.
So all the TV cameras can go there, film. Oh, it's just peaceful people in the costumes and walking their dogs. And there's some people chanting. There's no violence. There's no one getting beaten up here. But the rule of thumb is when the sun goes down, that's when the smashy starts.
So they start with that. It looks like they're deploying pepper balls there.
And I'm almost like,
I'm sorry, but you went there. You squared up on them. You did it on purpose. You knew what you were doing. You were waiting. This was your moment. This is your moment to come in and stand up to the man. This is pretty sparky. I will say. So this just happened a little while ago.
So what they do, when we don't have our own cameras down there, what they'll do is they'll just show the images there of them being in animal costumes and whatnot.
Right.
The cops launched tear gas at us for absolutely no reason. They don't show the part where people are lobbing bricks at the cops. They don't show the part where people are, beating up others in the crowd. They don't show the part where there's guys pushing and shoving with the police, and that's the kind of stuff I used to film. That's the kind of stuff Andy Knows was filming for several years. That's the stuff we see Katie out there doing now, and Shelley and all sorts of folks. So that's why they don't like us. We're out there showing the other half of what's going on.
Now check this out. I wanted you to see this. This is exactly what you're talking about.
So now they get to say, oh, we were just having a fun little dance party on roller skates.
That's right. Now look, I just want everybody to see this area. I'm pointing at something you can't even see. I'll tell you where they hit the front part of ice again. Now we're out here. We're just having fun. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what you're doing? This is their clever little ruse. They are blocking the ingress and egress for the ICE officers, and they know doggone well what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And the second anything happens, they're going to be already on wheels, and they're going to square up on the ICE officers, which of course is what they do. That's what they do.
And deep down inside, like philosophically, my core, I don't really like seeing federal officers being deployed on the streets. But if our own local police aren't doing anything to stop all the crime that's actually going on, then what are we left to do? And if they're going to arrest the people who are the victims of the crime, what are we supposed to do? Now, like I started to say earlier, I'm all fine fending for myself. If there were no police, I would actually prefer that over this big, wide, vague, gray, fuzzy line that we have right now of what's going to be enforced, what's not going to be enforced. We simply don't know. I'd rather just be able to take care of business and not have to worry about it.
I love the whole theater kid thing going on here, where you've got the music, somebody put the background music on it and that sort of thing. I think it's fun, but I wish people wouldn't be stupid about this. Okay, this is a ruse. This is just a blind behind which the other bad guys are pulling pranks and doing whatever it is they're doing. The other day I saw some video, and the video was of these guys, the fuzzy guys. Everybody, and where'd they get the money for all these costumes? I'd like to know. That's not small change, friends. These aren't cheap costumes. Somebody's paying for those. And we have a lot of places where we know that they are sending in money for the Antifa direct actions, which this is. And the direct actions refer to these things that live people do and oftentimes will end in violence. And the first thing that Pramila Jayapal, when she trains her people, and Lisa Fithian, when she trains her people, they ask, how far do you want to go? Are you willing to be arrested? Here are the phone numbers. Here's where here's where you're going to find an attorney. Say nothing to them. The whole thing. So they're ready. They prepare their people to do violence, do what you're capable and you're comfortable doing, and be prepared to go to jail. So
I'm just looking right now to see who we have maybe streaming. Honey Badger's posting some videos. I don't see a stream though.
Yeah, all of a sudden she stopped streaming.
But as you were starting to say there, they have armies of attorneys. So many of the attorneys are crazed leftists themselves.
Oh, are you kidding? In fact, I had an attorney on, but everything just got blown off. Now check this out. This is going on now. I don't know if you could see this.
No,
hold on. You can probably hear it, but
no, I see the still frame of the purple Barney in the background.
Yeah, stand by here.
Now, Portland Andy is running some live streams. He's finding them on TikTok.
I can't, this thing is so loud. I can't even stop. Shut up.
Now I'm just seeing the roller skates again.
Oh, yeah. So
another thing you'll notice is they're oftentimes wearing a lot of the same similar costumes. That's very similar to how they do in Black Bloc. Because if you have 30 people wearing costumes and 2 of them start lobbing bricks, how are you supposed to identify who is the one lobbing bricks? That's one of the ways they evade the law. And with the police 5 blocks away observing from a safe distance, they're not going to come rushing in to figure out who's doing it.
Ooh, I finally found the. I don't know if you've been blasted out by these guys, but I have. So, can you see that? No, because I've got something else up there. Sorry, you guys. This is just beginner device. Before. How come these are still here? The roller skaters are still here. Oh, there we go. Thank God.
Now it's just us.
Now let's go. Here we go. Ah! Finally. So this is happening. This is contemporary.
I saw a guy posting about something on Twitter a while back.
Yeah, so this is fairly recently, in the last 20 minutes or so. This is after...
Man? How's it going? Oh, it's going. Were you here when it got spicy? It was all over this whole neighborhood.
Go do it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you. I'm just looking for somebody I know.
So what was going on is we saw this. We have that highlight or low light. But yeah, I don't know if you could still hear it, but I can, even though there's still, whatever.
No.
You can't hear it. I can. Okay, good. It's just driving me nuts. So I don't have a problem hearing it when you and I are talking about it. But oh my gosh, anyway, doesn't matter. So yeah, so it did get a little spicy a little earlier, and so now everything seems to be calm. So let's take another look at what happened previously. I'll play it for you, and we'll see how this goes. Let's see. Now, look at all the people that were around. I mean, that was a hell of a lot of people. Hundreds of people, I would say. And they were blocking the driveway. So they're pushing him back. Because they have a shift change every once in a while. Oh, like you're surprised, buddy. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I have no sympathy for you. They got what they came for.
What's interesting is Portland Police Chief Bob Day sends out that press release a week or two ago saying,
Baghdad Bob.
It's just one block. It's not that big a deal.
Oh, I know it.
So if anybody out there has
nonsense.
a problem with Chief Bob Day, you can just take over the block in front of his house.
Sure, of course, absolutely.
Find out where his daughter lives. Take over the block there. In fact,
it's only one block. Come on.
What's interesting on top of all that, so the night that I was arrested, they had to shift me around between a bunch of different cruisers and paddy wagons and whatnot. They said they could not book me into Central Precinct because it was closed because they were concerned about the protest. Yet here are the exact same things going on at front of the ICE building. They're saying, oh, it's no big deal.
I know.
Is it a big deal when a crowd of people surround a building?
Yeah.
Or is it not?
It's a security hazard. I mean, to have, in fact, did you notice that they have taken down the tent city that Antifa had set up? They had their mutual aid station that was filthy dirty, by the way. And you'll notice
just like from the Occupy camps.
Yes,
so again,
yes.
When we talk about anybody out there who's unfamiliar with these tactics, you can Google the phrase diversity of tactics, and you'll find a lot of different little anarchist and extremist groups with some of their little guides and whatnot, where they talk about these sorts of things. Right. So this is hardly a new thing. They've been doing this for decades.
It is. They work. That's why they do them. Mm-hmm. I mean, they are very effective, and you just think about what they're doing out there. A lot of people say, oh, well, they're just nice people. They just came from the No Kings protest. They planned to be there. This was hours after the No Kings protest. They wanted to be there. They positioned themselves to be out there. They blocked a road that that normal people are allowed to drive on. They blocked the driveway of a federal building. They made themselves into a security risk. the building itself is a security risk as far as I'm concerned. You McAdam Avenue, then you've got the railroad tracks, and then you've got at that point in time when I went to see it, and I'll show you. In fact, I'll show you my terrible video. But here it is.
Oh yeah. But this is during the daytime, like I was saying earlier. During the daytime, there's typically no violence.
Right. Oh,
They want it to be. That's when they want the TV cameras there.
Right. And that's when
it's easier to identify them too when they start committing their crimes.
Sure. So it's the usual suspects here. I had it on a specific kind of video that I wanted, and they have goofy music playing, and then they every once in a while they look at the ICE officers on the roof and they go, F you, or whatever it is.
Right there, yeah, right on cue.
And they have pictures. It's really interesting the way they manipulate the signs and that sort of thing. If you want to take pictures of them, you can, obviously. It's a free country. But what they'll do is, for the media reasons, here, let me just pause that thought. Here is the disgusting little encampment that they had going here. And I was blocked up in a daytime, and there were some people who were blocked up. And I just didn't want them to know who I was, because I didn't want to get beaten up. Because I have death threats from these people. Mm-hmm. So, it's not worth getting killed over. Not that I think they're fully capable of doing stuff like that, frankly, especially the Portland cell.
Yeah, they have.
They literally have. They literally have. That's right. They literally have. Now, a lot of people don't remember.
Yeah, Aaron Danielson.
That's
5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was downtown that day.
You were?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
I heard the gunshots ringing from about 5 blocks away.
My God. These guys, some guy, he lay in wait for Aaron J. Danielson. You might also hear him referred to as that. And they did that. So you were 2016.
Yeah.
If you just keep looking at the pictures, look at all this food. They got, sandwiches that are all made
You
up.
could tell me this was straight out of Occupy in 2011.
I know,
it looks
like
exactly the same.
The only thing,
wondering, you can go to my YouTube channel, Laughing at Liberals.
Yes.
And I was filming all that stuff myself. And Dan Sandini, his channel was Daylight Disinfected. He doesn't post much anymore, but back around that time, we were going down in the Occupy camps and filming the craziness that was actually going on down there, which is why they hate us. And this is straight out of that. This looks exactly. This is a miniature version of them when they took over, 2-3 blocks of.
Now you hear the cowbell. This is here's where the guy comes up behind me. That's my shadow. Then you'll see a guy with an umbrella. There he is, right behind me, and he starts harassing me, and it was quite the deal. And he just got in my face and refused to let me move where I wanted to move. And I said, "Don't touch me," and that sort of thing.
I'm going to turn my camera off real quick, so I'm going to grab a visual aid.
Sure. So watch this guy. That's really bad camera work now, because the guy's preventing me from taking any photos whatsoever. And he is doing a, let's see, I got to look up my story that I wrote the other day. There's a word for it. It's like in the line of stopping somebody from going forward, moving all the way up to kidnapping. It's just on that. And he's telling me not to touch him. I haven't touched him at all. Now check out this. I am the first. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. See that guy? That guy's a cop, and he's not a dialogue officer. This is the first time.
No, he is. He's wearing the white shirt. White shirt means dialogue officer.
Oh, is that what? Oh, well, I'm glad that he came to my hand to help me. Right. So he interjects himself and gets in the guy's grill and goes, "What are you doing? Mr. Umbrella Man and Mr. Antifa Umbrella Man," And so he gets in the guy's grill. I am the first person who's a reporter, not that he may have known that, but who's a reporter who's been helped by the cops. I mean, it's just absurd.
She's filming. She's allowed to film.
She's allowed to film.
Hold the fuck on. You're gonna
gonna get on his ass. No. You're gonna get on him.
I just want you to you see that guy, Mr. First Amendment here. He's got a big thing on the back of his uniform, and it says press.
Yet here he is backing the guy who's throwing his umbrella in your face.
It's a hot mess, man. Keep going. Yeah, and by the way, everything is F you. I mean, come on, please. Could we? It's a noun. It's an adjective. It's a verb. I mean, come on, you guys. Let's get some new words. So for anyone
listening or watching who's maybe thinking about going down to one of these things, as we see from people getting their phones stolen, from getting blocked, and whatnot, this is a monopod. This little collapsible thing that you can mount a phone to, you can mount cameras to, so it extends upwards like this.
Right.
And this is good for a few different things here. First of all, as you're marching along, if you get to a stopping point, you can kind of extend it out and keep it on the ground. So now you have sort of a stable shot here as your phone or camera's up there. Secondly, when they try to block you with all their signs and umbrellas, you can extend it out and just hold it up to get over what they're doing there. Thirdly, you can use it as like a collapsible baton of sorts to
you can
fend them off when they come after you. But even when you're just walking along, if your camera or phone's mounted on here, even if you're just walking along holding it like this, the shots are a lot more stable. So I mean, you can get a cheap one for $20, or you can get a more expensive one that is a lot beefier, a bit heavier. It's got these little tripod legs. You can't hold it up like that, but it helps with your stable shot. These extend a little further, so you can get it even higher up. It's a beefier construction here. So I always recommend, because part of the thing here, after I was arrested and thrown in jail after being attacked, I was actually banned by the courts from filming protests for 4 years. Yeah, this is my job. They literally threatened me with imprisonment for doing the First Amendment.
That is correct. You lost your First Amendment and Second Amendment rights thanks to Antifa and the very lax way in which they're treated in the city of Portland, in Multnomah County, obviously.
So the good thing was, though, there were other people who were wanting to go out there and film this stuff. I had to do with that, but the protests in general
for a confrontation
Sorry, that was my
across
phone.
the country were really stepping up. So there were people coming to me saying, hey, what kind of gear should I get? I want to start doing this. So, I actually put together sort of this little training package, and using monopods is a must-have. It's
super smart.
There were people who started doing it just with their phones or cheap little cameras. And then after I kind of showed them, what I had learned over the five or 6 years that I have been doing it, they switched to some of the methods I'm doing. Their footage started coming out a lot better. They're able to get a lot better shots. And like, man, I'm glad I watched a little training course.
Yeah.
They're able to get a lot better shots. And like, man, I'm glad I watched a little training course.
Sorry, that's my phone again. I apologize. I was just checking to see if we have.
Going here too.
Was that?
I said I have QC going here off to the side too.
Look at us. Look at this. Only 6 people watching us tonight. What's up to that? And that, of course, it'll remain there. So I imagine a lot more people will see it. But what's up to that? Yeah.
You want to bring up? I don't know how you're set up there, but if you want to bring up the Portland Andy feed, that's not Andy. No, that's a different Andy. He's showing different live streams right now going on.
Good. Okay. Good. Oopsies. Cow. And Tommy Boy's over there too.
I don't know.
And so, yeah, he's been out there. He's kind of a baller out there. Portland Andy. Yeah, I know. I think I've watched some of this.
Yeah. And all the streams he's referencing are through TikTok. So I don't know if you can bring those up.
Oh, yeah. I just don't. I'm not on TikTok. I should be, but I'm just going to wait for the Chi-Coms to be done with it so we don't have to. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Portland Andy. Let's bring up Portland Andy. Hold on a second. I got to make sure I just don't get. All righty. So the Portland police are out there. That's new and unusual.
You got to wonder what would happen if a bunch of Trump supporters decided to surround the state capitol as they were passing that transportation tax a month or so ago. What would happen if a bunch of Trump supporters went out there and did the same thing to
State
prevent
patrol.
the legislators from going into the building to pass the tax?
They'd be in prison, waiting. Yeah. Oh, that's my video again. I'm going to wait and see. I got this at the stage. Here we go. Oh, let's hurt now. Okay, get those guys out of there. Here we go. Sorry. So this is Portland to Andy, and he's got multiple live streams going. I just didn't want to have all the noise. Yeah. But but the cops, look at the Portland PDs out there, Portland Police Bureaus out there. What do you think of that? That's like...
Are you sure that's them?
No, I'm not sure. I assumed it was, since we're looking at Portland.
So they've started painting all their vehicles black now. So whenever they go in for repairs and new paint, they're coming out black now.
Oh, well, that's... all black, though? But they got black and white.
Yeah, all black. They're all black.
Well, I don't know. What can I tell you? Portland Andy's in Portland.
To help hide the damage that they get from
maybe they're
normal jobs.
Probably. Maybe they are in, maybe those aren't Portland Police Bureau cops. Maybe those are somebody else. Oh, crap. Look, we got the helicopters going.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been buzzing around all night. That's been in the news. The mainstream media is trying to make it seem like the helicopters are disrupting people and they're complaining about it.
Right.
And meanwhile, there's actually people complaining going on national news, people who actually live in the apartment building right across the street from there, talking about how annoying it is to have these protesters out there screaming through their megaphones, all the noise blasters, all the music.
Yeah. This is
people unaware of that. You can Google it. There was actually a disabled black woman who was going down and arguing with the protesters, trying to get them to shut up. And she tried to sue the city for not enforcing the noise
ordinance.
Noise ordinances.
Yeah.
And the judge who was in charge of the case is the former state attorney general, Ellen Rosenblum, who is a crazed leftist who only got appointed to the judgeship so she could get a second PERS payout, or maybe even a third or fourth. I don't know how many of those she's got. So, of course, she's going to rule in favor of the terrorists because the terrorists own her.
Well, and it was Bob Day who goes to court and testifies in favor of Antifa to not bring the ordinance to bear against.
She lives in
noisy...
that apartment building that you just saw on the left-hand side there. That's where this disabled black woman lives.
Mm-hmm. We've mentioned her several times. In fact, I have the... but here's the interesting thing. Tonight on someone's live feed, and I'll see if I can find that particular post. They were outside today, and they were issuing forth from their bullhorns a high-pitched sound that was something that you would play if you were trying to get a tin pot dictator to give himself up. And so what was going on there was this loud noise, and they were playing it outside today. Well, this is the same sound that they played for months on end at that ICE facility. And all of the people who lived in that apartment complex, all of those people could not sleep. And she comes to the point where, we the people need sleep. And I'll find it. I've got it in here somewhere, but it's just unbelievable.
In the mindset of the terrorists, if you're not with them, then that means you're willfully allowing, capitalist repression to go on and whatnot. So even if you're neutral, you're the enemy to them.
Oh, I know. I get it. I mean, that's exactly what's going on there. I'm still trying to find that video. I have it in MP4.
Oh, what's this coming down here?
I don't know. I'm not looking. I'm
in the
looking
left feed here.
What is that?
Tweaker hunters? What the? At Tweaker hunters. I'm going to look that up.
What is that? And there's the ICE. They're going past the ICE headquarters right there. So the ICE guys are still, or Fed officers or whatever, are making sure that the ingress and egress is open so that they can get their officers inside and out. And by the way, one of their officers is somebody I know, Mr. Michael Strickland, tweeted out, or whatever we're calling it now. In fact, I've got to find that. Here he is. I will I will share this tab. And look at this guy. This gentleman right here at Laugh at Lib. Laughing at liberals, but it's Laugh at Libs. Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. Sexual abuse of a minor. This guy was picked up by ICE today in Portland. So,
And there's a state law that
it's against
forbids local law enforcement from reporting anyone to ICE. So I mean, you got to wonder. I mean, if I'm a Portland police officer and I know that these people are coming in and out, screw my job. I'm going to do the right thing, and I'm going to report when these people are raping children instead of willfully allowing it to happen.
Unbelievable. Just unfreaking believable. Okay, now we're going back to whatever this is. These live things. These are on
looking
TikTok,
for
aren't
tweaker
they?
hunters. It's like an old account. I don't know what.
Tweaker hunters. So you got the usual black bloc guys up there, and then you've got, look at these people. They've brought their umbrellas to a rainy night for a protest in Portland. I got news for you. Nobody does that except Antifa. I mean, I suppose that might, if you still got the old lady crowd out there, of which I'm a part, I suppose.
No,
but so if you've still got those guys out there, they might, but they're not there. They're gone. They're in bed now. Now it's all the people who are, are packing, who've got, went strapped up to the old No Kings protest and decided that they'd slither on over. Okay, so here we go. Well, I appreciate you doing that, buddy. I appreciate being able to, draft on your deal here. He's just talking. Oh, here we go. This is just maddening to me. Oh, yeah. This guy, look at this.
I don't know.
I'm all about the civil liberties and constitutional rights. This guy is an ACLU attorney wearing an Antifa shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we love you too, sort of. Not really. Stop sharing this guy. Okay, whatever. I mean, is that just these people? Honestly.
Well, they're all in bed with each other, all these various different leftist organizations.
Man, I mean, really. I'm going to do a little checking thing here because I think I just messed up my audio again.
I found tweakerhunters.com.
Oh, okay. What you got?
It says Tweaker Hunters is not just a show, it's a movement. A movement problem. You may have noticed thousands of drug addicts are wandering our neighborhood streets, and that's intentional by the court systems. That's my little note there. Sleeping at our parks, loitering at our convenience stores, blah, blah, blah. Tweaker Hunters is a shocking reality/comedy show behind a serious problem. We aim to expose the problem to the world and attempt to solve it. By exposing the problem, we aim to stimulate solutions. We're tired of worrying about our safety and exposing our children to visual disturbance. So I got to wonder if they're based in Portland then, because that sounds like a lot of stuff that's going on in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is a lot of people who don't live in Portland go, it's not that big deal. It happens everywhere. Like, that doesn't make it right. That doesn't mean it should be allowed. I mean, slavery was common in Portland.
This is Katie Davis Court's video. It's all calm there now, but this was earlier. Oh, look at that frog. Hey, Mike, can you hear this?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Now, IWW is International Workers of the World.
Yeah.
That's an extremist organization.
Sure.
In fact,
the Wobblies.
I've had when I was going undercover into leftist groups, a lot of people were telling me that IWW is even more extreme than the anarchists.
No. Oh, yeah. They were the anarchists.
Yeah.
So this is earlier in the evening. This is when when they literally had. Okay, you started a fire. Okay, buddy.
Now they're all of a sudden concerned about a fire that might damage the building.
Yeah. Let's just watch the show. I like the way they're like
tear gas or just percussion grenades. flashbangs.
Yeah. Plus, you never know who's actually doing the initial throwing of the munitions. Antifa likes to throw lots of things that go boom and make loud noises. I gotta turn down the sound a little bit. I like, all these chicks are going, F you, F you, F you. And then all of a sudden, here come the munitions from the cops or the pepper balls or something. And they go, just stop it. Just stop it. Whose are those, I'll bet? Who does the colored munitions and the smoke bombs, Mike?
I don't know. To both sides.
Look at that. Yeah, that's really pretty interesting. Yeah. You've got, for the people who have put this together, the No Kings protest, and then they came out recently and they said, well, we don't want anybody to commit any acts of violence. Okay, wow. Okay, if this were a right-wing group in the city of Portland, in Multnomah County, they would be asked not to be there and do this, just so you know, because that has happened before. And that's why there is viewpoint discrimination going on every which way in official Multnomah County and Portland. And they've done it. They basically PNG'd the Patriot prayer guys. And the persona non grata, they said, please we don't want you in our town. Now, why did they come? They came because the anti-First Amendment, Antifa, would always come when they held their free speech rallies. And as annoying as it may be, as they basically baited them to come over and tell us we can't have our permitted protest or demonstration or prayer session, Antifa would always show up and start the violence. And so it got to the point where the cops wouldn't stop Antifa. They would stop Patriot Prayer from speaking. That's what they do. That is their default position. It is stunning and more than a little disingenuous. And the fact is they don't like right-wing people. He literally held a news conference and said, we don't like these people and we don't want them in our town. And then they went down the line of all these elected officials and said, we don't want these people in the town. And it's like, what are you talking about? We didn't do anything wrong. These guys showed up to shut us up. And that's it's not just a heckler's veto. It's a rioter's veto. That's what's going on in the city of Portland all the time. I used to just like to go and get those pervy people that we just showed you a picture of. And I'm not saying that everything's done, by the Marcus de Queensberry rules, but I'd like to think that they actually observe more rules than does Antifa. And, Mike, did you see that the Hillsborough couple the other day that mocked the ICE officers and they blocked them?
Yeah.
That's against the law. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. What did they call it?
Everything's legal as long as you're a crazed leftist in the area. You can do whatever you want.
So I was talking about the gradations of, that guy stopping me, and it was an act of coercion that's actually against the law. And that's what those people were doing to the ICE officers, in this case, Border Patrol officers, who were in Hillsborough. I don't know. Who knows what they were doing there? They didn't know, but they came.
So in Oregon, it actually is on the books. Felony is a class, or coercion is a Class C felony, and it basically states, coercion is when you use force or threats to prevent someone from doing something they have a legal right to, or if you're using force and threats to compel someone to do something that is illegal. So there's sort of two definitions of coercion. But yeah, there's a lot of coercion that happens in Portland. I would argue that's one of the crimes that the gang was committing against me the night I had to draw. You're standing there engaging in your First Amendment rights.
Absolutely.
You need to get the F out of here. That's his exact words. Need to get the F out of it. Need is necessary for your survival. That's the definition of need. necessary for survival. So if he's saying if I do not get the F out of there, my survival is then at risk. That's a direct threat. That's coercion.
Right.
It should be, but not according to the courts. According to Judge Thomas Ryan, according to Deputy Prosecutors Todd Jackson and Kate Molina, perfectly acceptable thing to do. So if there's any violent criminals out there who have a problem with any of the DAs in Portland or any of the judges or any of the police, feel free to do the same thing to them. It's perfectly legal.
I will say that I'm going to find your video here. I just brought it up. Here we go.
Get the hell back! Get the hell back!
That was just one of the angles there. Yep.
Yeah, one of these multiple angles, but this is part of the Bivens video, I think.
Okay, yeah. Bivens, who, by the way, moments after this, I'm not sure how long this video goes, but you can hear him actively saying, yeah, I was about to go and suplex that guy in reference to me. So when they're saying that these people weren't about to do harm to me, here he is right on his own camera saying he was about to come up to me from behind, suplex me onto the pavement. Now that is landing with the back of your head and neck onto the pavement.
Wow.
Someone could easily die from that. Bivens is currently in jail.
Yeah.
He was recently found guilty of numerous hate crimes and arson crimes. The leftists are so desperate to have crimes that are committed by crazed right-wing Trump supporters, they have to go out there and commit the crimes themselves in order to have someone to blame for the phantom crimes.
Yeah.
So Mike Bivens went out there and lit a couple synagogues on fire and left some anti-Semitic messages on the windows there. So he's been in jail, I think, for 3 years. He was just recently finally on trial and found guilty.
I guess there's more demand than there is supply of hate crimes in Portland. So you got to go create the supply. Who knows? And then he covers it as demand. There's the guy who beat you up.
Yep.
There's the guy who started everything.
That big fat guy there, Benjamin Carenza.
Yeah, can you imagine?
400 pounds.
400 pounds.
He's been in and out of federal prison 3 times.
Well, the reason we bring up his weight, we're not weight shaming per se, but what we are saying is that he's twice the size of Mike, and he beat him up and tried to jump him out of a. Look at this. Now, this is everybody knows.
And Ben Carenza has done that multiple other times to other people.
Oh, to other people. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Those people have tried to file complaints with the police about it. The police tell them to buzz off.
Yeah, they tell all the conservatives that because they have this basic, and this is 2016, guys. This is 2016.
9 years ago.
And then in 2018, Andy No was beaten up and milkshake. And then in the 2019, he got the milkshake thing.
I think that was 2019, yeah.
29, okay. And then 2021, they chased him through the streets of Portland and tried to kill him. And then in 2019, going back, 2019, the black conservative live streamer was stabbed by, this is all Antifa, in Portland. And then 2021, Andy No again. 2020, well, I'm probably missing one. I think there was one in 2023, 2025, an assassination. So that is the buildup of what has happened in Portland. And then when you see them just sort of blithely ignore what's going on by Antifa, there's nothing. They've only taken over a block. Come on.
Here they are coming after me again, trying to cause trouble with me.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
And you can go to my YouTube channel, Laughing at Liberals. Mm-hmm. I have like a 5 multicam synced angles of all these where I'm kind of narrating what's happening and what's going through my mind, what I'm visualizing, what I'm interpreting going on, which the judge decided to say was irrelevant. So how I'm interpreting things, what I'm seeing, how my experiences, my knowledge, my training, according to Judge Thomas Ryan, is completely irrelevant.
Right, which is dumb, obviously. You have to feel like your life is in danger to pull a gun. Come on,
and
man.
I did. At that moment, I did.
And now I think you would.
Fortunately, that was enough to get them to stop and back away.
I think that it's almost to the point where you'd think that if you'd shot someone, that you wouldn't have had to go to jail.
I hate to say it, but the closest analog that we have to this is Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah,
that's the only other one I can think of that's close to this where
Right.
someone was actually tried. Now, there's been other cases in Oregon and specifically in Multnomah County where people have drawn guns at protests, and then either they're not arrested or their charges are eventually dropped.
Right. Yeah.
But the only thing that I have that's the closest analog to this is Kyle Rittenhouse. So the only thing I can have as a reference as to what I should have done, because no one in the court system or with the police or with the DAs have explained what someone's supposed to do in that situation.
Right.
So the only thing I have to go off of is Kyle Rittenhouse. So
Well,
should I have shot and killed as many of them as possible and then I wouldn't have been charged?
Oh,
That's a hell of a position to put someone in.
Yeah, Kyle was going to die that night because that Antifa guy who called himself an Antifa guy with the gun, he was drawn on him. He was drawn down on him, and that guy needed to go. And he wounded him actually. So anyway, we've got more of this. I was going to get to that Hillsborough situation because people are so pleased with themselves in this whole thing. This is their moment. They're out there on the streets. They're going to go and get the man. And
they're emboldened by the police and prosecutors and politicians and local media. They're emboldened to do more and more of this. You get more of what you reward.
Absolutely.
If you're going to arrest the victims of crimes who are being beaten up, guess what you're going to get? More people being beaten up and robbed and stabbed and shot.
Yeah, I know. It's always such a surprise. Well, we don't have a real bad problem here with crime, except for, people getting shot and wounded. It's just because they're conservative or whatever you are. You're more of a libertarian. But I will say that this has been just an ongoing same thing. Rinse, repeat. Every year. It has a tempo. They set the tempo. They said it was okay, just as Mike's been saying. It's okay to do this. It's okay to go after people. It's okay to go after people because they deserve it. After all, they're fascists because they disagree. And they're fascists because I say so. It doesn't make any sense, but sure. And everyone buys into this BS. It's so lazy. I mean, honest to goodness, it's so lazy.
When we were talking,
these people are just retarded. Anyway, keep going. I'm sorry. I said
so
it.
So in 2019,
my kids are going to kill me for that.
Happened to Andy, which, by the way, happened in the exact same spot where it happened to me. Just steps out front of the police headquarters with no police around to help. In fact, police are putting out press releases saying they're observing from a safe distance. So that's why you keep hearing me do that, because that's their MO for all of these things. They just observe from a few blocks away as people are being beaten and robbed. But I remember I was doing a couple of interviews with people after that because people wanted to talk to me after the Andy thing.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things I remember saying, I think to Zane Sparling, I think with the Portland Tribune,
Uh-huh.
I think one of the things that he quoted me as saying as something like, are the Portland police going to wait until someone gets shot before they finally start intervening?
Yeah.
Nary a year later, that's when Jay Danielson was shot.
Yeah.
And they still don't intervene.
And they still let Antifa, take over the streets. They were, this is the more than almost 200 days of rioting in the city of Portland. And they ran the mayor out of his home. They threatened his life. They threatened the life of his wife and children.
Are you talking about Ted Wheeler or the new?
I'm talking about Ted Wheeler.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, there were times where they went in and took over city council meetings and chased the city council.
Oh yeah, they took over city council one time. They tried to break into City Hall. We have video of that. Hey, guess who was there? Wasn't Ben Carenza there too?
Yeah, so I was just about to say one of the biggest ones they had done, and this one got some national press, is they had bull rushed into the city council chambers. And I'm all for letting politicians have it as far as, letting know your opinion and whatnot.
Sure.
So I'm all for that. But I mean, when they're just start shouting at a turn and they're literally starting to threaten them, they're taking over the meeting and the councilors have to flee. So the police the security, and I'm not sure if it was the building security or Portland police at that point, but they tried to come in to get the mob to break up. Teresa Rayford, who was the head of, they called it Don't Shoot Portland. That was kind of the Portland wing of the Black Lives Matter thing.
Mm-hmm.
she was the one who kind of organized this. And so the security guards were trying to talk to her. Ben Carenza, the 400-pound guy who was blocking me, he gets in the way. So he's now acting as a bodyguard for Teresa Rayford to prevent the security guards from getting to her. Later that same day, and it's on video, he's literally fighting with police. Like he's literally pushing and shoving with police.
You know what? Don't you think?
To chase people out of the building.
Can I just point out the obvious that I've noticed about this whole thing? Antifa was the security and continues to be the security for whatever remains of BLM when they decide.
It's all the same thing. It's just repackaged. It's all the same people.
Oh, I know, but I mean, they say that they're their security. I mean, that's what they say. And the thing is that all the Antifa guys are all white, and all the BLM people, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are black. And I'm thinking, what is this white savior complex by these Antifa guys in which they think that it's up to them to protect these poor black people? It's like, what are you talking? These people
it's even funnier than that.
I mean, it's absurd.
Oh, back in 2014, that was what was that guy's name? Michael Brown, was that his name? The Ferguson, Missouri thing?
Sure.
So that was a big one.
Sure,
so
of course.
I think if I'm remembering things right, and this is all on my YouTube channel. One of the first nights,
laughing at liberals,
relatively small crowd there, 30, 40 people. And this one black dude was up on the steps. He's starting to tell me, okay, we want to do this peacefully. We want to do this the right way. We don't need people going out there committing violence. And you have a bunch of these white wannabe anarchist guys standing at the stops. They're now heckling the black guy because he's calling for peace. You have these spoiled, privileged white kids say, "No, we're here to call you out. No, fuck them up."
Yeah.
It's like they're heckling down the black dude at the black. They're trying to tell the black dude at the Black Lives Matter rally how the Black Lives Matter should run. And then there's another one a few days later where things were getting a little tense, and some of the anarchist types, they'd been marching through the streets. They'd been picking up road signs along the way. And they were getting towards the Broadway Bridge. And then the police come out to stop them from going across the Broadway Bridge. Police are out. They have their riot shields and whatnot. So they're ready to go there. Well, these anarchist guys are then coming up with what they've cobbled together as their own shields. They're getting ready to stand off with the police and charge at the police. Well, a couple black dudes come running and say, no, we're not going to do it this way. We want to do this the right way. Let's just have our protests. Go down the other street here, and same thing. These spoiled, rich, white, suburban anarchist kids from Portland State University are arguing with the black folks about how the Black Lives Matter march should run.
We're going to tell you.
You can't make this stuff up.
We're going to tell you how you're going to run your demonstrations and whatever it is you're doing. We're going to tell you how to do that. It's just absurd. I mean, these people are just... Okay, so I was going to show you the wonderful people in Hillsborough, the Hillsborough couple who made videos of them coercing ICE officers and or Border Patrol officers. And they did it, which is illegal, by the way, and they conspired to do it using an app that is on your phone, or you can get it online as well, on your laptop or whatever. And what they did was they cornered them and prevented them from moving freely. And then they had to get away by driving over somebody's tall bushes. So let's I'll show this to you. I know. Let's go here. Here's theirs. It's their Hillsborough restaurant. I want you to, this is what they did. This is the wife. Okay, these people, they stopped the guys who were wearing the ICE masks, the Border Patrol guys, probably looking for that perv. And they think they're so clever. Oh, aren't they clever? Then they go up to the driver's side window, and the guy, and they say, "Well, show me your badge." And it's like, dude, who are you? I don't even know. You're stopping me. You are illegally stopping me. And then, but the Border Patrol guys shows him his badge, and then, I don't know if that's real or not. Where's your warrant? You don't have any right to get a look at my warrant. You know what I do? I show the warrant to the person I'm going to arrest. That's who has the right to see the warrant. These people, they have just lost their ever-loving minds. My favorite part is when the wife goes back, and I'm going to show you this video. This is, and like I say, this is in Hillsborough, which is just outside of Portland. And she is, the wife decides that she's going to continue to talk a little bit more about it because she posted everything to TikTok. And so what she did was she made that video and put it on their restaurant's webpage, their restaurant's Facebook page. And then what else she did was, why am I not being able to? God, it's so. Oh yeah. So then the next thing is that she confesses again that she's done it. What these are, you know what I do? This is out of that police never talk to a cop video that is changed my life. I love this video. and what they do is they say, would you like to just write a letter and explain what it was you were thinking when you did this, or to the person who's been hurt because of what you've done? And then they I'd feel better if I'd get off this off my chest. And you know what, the cop looks, and he looks at the students that are arrayed in a law class, and he says, yeah, that's a signed legal confession. And that's what this is.
This is the first time I've ever recorded myself on TikTok, so forgive me if I'm awkward or stumble through it. But
yeah, stop ICE alerts is what they used.
The second ICE vehicle, which was carrying the third ICE officer, pulled up. And as we were distracted, the original vehicle, which was the minivan carrying 2 ICE officers, pulled around into the apartment complex, ran over a couple of hedges that were probably 6 feet tall and got away. A couple other comrades followed them all the way up to Highway 26, which has a pretty fast speed limit, so they got away from that point. But we were able to report their vehicles, their faces, their VIN numbers.
And to whom do you report these? Well, she's going to tell you. There are some people out there who will tell you what to do with that information.
And that's kind of what I wanted to post about today. I wanted to let everyone know what the best next steps are. If you're going to...
Yeah, you can tell your own friends, honey. I'm not going to bother to tell you how to get ICE agents. But
now Washington County DA, this happened in Washington County, not Multnomah.
Oh, yeah. Sure, yeah.
Kevin Barton, I think, is still the DA there. He now has the opportunity to actually do something about this.
They should be prosecuted.
We'll see if he is going to...
Sorry, guys, they should be prosecuted. You got to make an example of somebody who'd be willing to do this. They were conducting acts of coercion. Did you see how she was riding the front part of the car as they tried to get away, and she wouldn't refuse to let them go? I'm going to just stand in front of your car, and you can't hit me. Just get a clue.
So I suppose if Kevin Barton doesn't pursue charges against them, that means that if someone's friend is about to go up on trial in Washington County, you now have the right to block in the deputy DAs that are handling that case to prevent them from getting to the courthouse to try that case. For Kevin Barton, it'd be perfectly lawful. I just want to make sure that these standards are being enforced and applied equally to everyone.
Okay, I'm gonna share. Who's this? Oh, Honey Badger Mom. What? Is she still going there? Good grief!
No, she's posting some other stuff.
Oh, she is. Okay. I asked her to come on tonight, so I'm hoping she can come. But I'm going to find out. I'm going to look and see if I can find something else that she's done earlier tonight, because she had a lead up. She saw all the people. She was out there today, and she was concerned about the huge numbers of people outside the ICE headquarters. She goes, this is why they needed the National Guard. And exactly right. She's absolutely right. And it's, hello, could we please have a little sanity? Why would anyone have a problem with the National Guard protecting the ICE officers from digging? Now, we've got something going here. Let me...
Here's the thing, a lot of these people, if the FBI were to actually take a lot of the tips that people like myself...
I just want you to see this. Oh, fight fascists. Oh, brother. We saw your face. I don't know what's going on. That's outside the ICE office right there. They're trying to get to the ICE office.
That's the entryway into the place.
Is the entry, right. And I like the way...
And that's Mike Blue Hair, actually, that just walked across.
Oh, really? Blah, blah. I'm not sure when this has just recently happened. And what happens is you get these guys out there.
Well, Blue Hair's still using the same camera from before. Wow.
Is he really?
Yeah. It's the Sony HX70, I think it is. It's called the Jungle Camera because it's completely weatherproof. You can keep the crap out of it. It can get rained on all at once.
Okay, so I'm not entirely sure when that happened. It happened tonight, obviously, but I just don't know when. So I'm going to look and see. Let's see, when did they post?
I can tell you the rain is really coming down out there. So that's probably...
isn't that a shame? What is? Olya scooter caster. Federal agents pepper sprayed multiple ICE protesters. Bottles thrown toward the agents. Yeah, you guys, if you hit one of those guys, that's an 8-year prison stretch. You know that, you dillweeds. Do you have a clue about that?
So
8 years, man.
One of my big concerns here is that Harmeet and Pam Bondi, I'm not sure if they realize the depth of these terrorist organizations.
She does. She was Andy Ngo's attorney. She knows.
I hope so. I hope they recognize this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my fear is that they might just want to go after a few like big name public officials like Chief Bob Day or Mike Schmidt or someone who is the former DA who basically enabled all of these terrorists. That's my concern, is because they have information on these terror cells and the actual people behind the scenes who are running these. Their meetup locations, their clubhouses, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
They know where these groups are going. They know the people involved who are behind the scenes. They know the organizers. Why aren't these people being arrested and brought up on terrorism charges?
I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. Here's another view of it. This is whoever this Aliyah scooter caster. I think she's a lefty, but yeah, she's got some good stuff though. Interesting things, I should say. I'll bring it back on stage. Here we go. Oh, this is basically the same thing. It might be a different one. Maybe I just grabbed. Screw that. I'll go get the other one. I'll just go get her other one that she had. She had like 2 consecutive ones, so let's just try this one. Oh, good. It's another person who has no vocabulary. And I apologize to my friends who expect better out of me. I just can't speak for these people. They have to speak for themselves. They're so disgusting. So, I mean, they're surrounding. This is when they surrounded the ICE headquarters earlier tonight. I say surround their ingress and egress. Blah, blah.
Did they just say you busted a kid fucker?
What?
I think one of them just screamed, "You busted a kid fucker," which maybe is that guy that.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
They're talking to ICE about you busted a kid fucker, like the child molester that I posted about.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh,
I'd say part of my language, but I come from the punk and metal world, so.
I mean, what can I tell you? I mean, it's. You cannot go to one of these things without hearing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's still the favorite word of them all. Oh, now she's gotten some. I'm just checking her timeline here. Let's see. 2 hours ago, 46 minutes ago. We've shown her most recent ones. And, it
I'm
is
trying
kind
to
of.
find streams that are going on down there. I can't really.
Yeah, it's because it's pretty chill now.
Yeah.
That's not chill, but. I'm sure that everybody's going to say, "Oh, those mean old ICE officers, they're so mean." And Antifa started it. Obviously, they wouldn't need to do any of this stuff were it not for Antifa. Antifa starts it, they'll finish it. That's for darn sure. So, but we don't know who started the munitions first because some of that doesn't look like theirs. I say by theirs, I mean ICE. It's a very dramatic look, I'll say that. And, when they start writing up all the laws broken and all that stuff, see that guy with that 5-gallon lid, plastic lid, there's your umbrella. 5-gallon plastic lid that he's using as a shield is going to be a weapon. Because I've seen that written up before in a lawsuit.
Yeah, and sometimes what they'll do, they'll affix spikes to the bottom of those flagpoles.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they'll have a baseball bat, and they have their signs, so you can't really tell it's a baseball bat until you're getting whacked over the head with it.
Yeah, a friend of mine's
seen videos of that happening.
Yeah, these guys. I am a free speech absolutist, and I will tell you something. The thing here is that they are not. City of Portland has time, place, and manner restrictions that they could impose on these guys. They could, that they should have been doing for months, right? They should have been doing this for months, and they have to say, "I'm sorry, you have to stop at 10 o'clock at night because people need to sleep." But they've never done that. In fact, they went when they were sued over it. They went to court and then they had the police chief testify on behalf of Antifa. Mm-hmm. I mean, to say that it was perfectly okay. That we just have to be, allow these people to get their yayas out and to speak. Well, no, you don't actually. You can tell them they can speak sometime else. That's why you can't always hold a riot where you want. In fact, a riot is illegal. It's not protected free speech. And half the time, this stuff is a riot. It's not protected free speech. And a lot of people don't understand that. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm the adult in the room, not the child in the room. Been there, done that. Got the Antifa t-shirt, and I'm telling you, you can't do it. But the city of Portland has chosen not to enforce time, place, and manner restrictions, nor have they enforced the very illegal language that is incitement and threatening people, which is happening down there all the time, down there in that section of Portland.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many layers to it. I mean, we can go back to 2020 during the George Floyd protests and whatnot.
Yeah.
What would oftentimes happen? Yeah, what would oftentimes happen is the police would be observing from a safe distance. Well, they would hear the glass being shattered from these places, like echoing through the blocks and whatnot.
Yeah,
Police wouldn't rush in and stop it. They rush in afterwards. They arrest people who have nothing to do with the riot. I mean, yeah, they might be marching along, but they're not the ones actually breaking the glass. So then you can't really, there's not much you can charge that person with, and then the charges are dismissed the next day. Now that person has one of these ACLU or National Lawyers Guild attorneys who sues the city. Everybody gets $20,000 to $30,000 of our money now as they walk out of it. People who actually did the rioting, who actually smashed the glasses, who actually lit the cars on fire, they're never caught. They're never identified. They're never brought up on any charges. So then they're just free to do it again the next day because they know the police, whether by incompetence or intent, aren't going to come in and do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I wish it weren't like this. I wish this wasn't the state of the city and the world we live in when it comes to these big cities.
I'm looking here. I'm going to go to Ocean Plot. I think, let me do this. There we go. I don't know where he went. There we go. This is all the way. He was there. I just want to get a little bit of the before. I want you to get a clear look at how many people were preventing, I should say, the ICE agents from getting out. And I'm going to go over and turn on the sound here. She said, hopefully. I think I am. I'm going to get a better view. Look how many people are blocking ICE right now. That is dangerous for everyone inside.
The crowd is getting rowdy and drunk, by the way.
You know they were giving free booze to the people in outfits today in the costumes?
Does not surprise me one bit.
A lot of Portland restaurants were doing that. There was a story in the Oregonian about it today.
It's getting slower.
So you've got people paying for all the costumes, people giving them free drinks, people who were wearing, free attorneys. People who were wearing frog costumes got free drinks. Everybody else got discounts.
Hope everybody stays safe. I'm glad that nothing broke out with Tommy earlier with those crazy people around him.
Oh, yeah. See, you cannot do that. They have every right to assert themselves to rein in that crowd. And they did. And you'll see it in a second. I suspect it's still on this feed where, it's just the tail end of his feed, I think. And probably went home when they deployed the pepper spray. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. There's all kinds of drunk people coming out now. Oh my God, man. Don't tell me all this shit right now. Really?
I wonder what he's being told.
There is no free speech in Multnomah County. You're right, man. What the fuck?
There is no free speech in Multnomah County if you're a conservative. Obviously.
You don't even have to be conservative. You just have to not be one of them.
Well, there you go. That's exactly right. Exactly right. I just,
No, I don't think they would do that. It's still fucked up.
If there was actual fascism, every single one of those people would be rounded up and thrown into the concentration camps.
Oh, concentration camps. I was going to say, they should be rounded up just because they're breaking the law. But you can bet those people on the roof, the ICE guys on the roof, they're getting pictures. They got people in the crowd. They are surveilling the entire population. Because now what they have is they have a better tool. They're going to find out who those people are. They're going to get warrants on them. Who are the people who are, resisting arrest or resisting. They're going to get warrants on them. They're going to find out to whom they've been speaking, who, what their Discord channel is, or whatever their way in which they communicate with their friends, what the encrypted apps they use. See this car? That car can't move. It's a street and they can't move. Why? Because Antifa's having a hissy fit.
Yeah, police are actually telling drivers to obey the terrorists.
Yeah. And just another thing. This has been going on for years with Antifa. They block streets. They chase cars, pull people out of the cars. We had an armed checkpoint in 2021. And they pulled people out of their cars, beat them. One guy pulled a gun on him and then had 3 in his face. They literally were strapped. Hey, Mike, I know that it's, I think Multnomah County.
You're talking about that one with the minivan, I think it was?
Oh, yeah, that was one guy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was that. No, this was a 2021 one.
Jeez, I'm trying to, all these different ones.
There's been several of them. No, these guys were legit strapped. They had long guns. They stopped traffic for BLM.
Yeah, so was this downtown or was this like in North Portland?
North Portland.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Northeast
Portland, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Were the cops there? No.
Yeah, and these guys are live.
Cops were not there.
The BLM guys, the Black Lives Matter guys, are live streaming this as they're doing it. You can see their guns.
Seriously,
as they're drawing. The guy's name of his live stream is right there on there.
Uh-huh.
As far as I know, not a single person from that was arrested or charged.
I don't think so. I don't think they ever were.
And that's part of what I mean by other examples of people drawing guns on others in Portland during political events, not being charged.
Yeah.
There was actually a shootout in the streets. In 2021.
Yes.
Two people were shooting at each other from across the street.
I saw that.
They arrested the one guy who was
who was shooting back.
And so they hauled him in. But his case was eventually dropped. His charges were dropped.
Oh, good.
And I think what had happened was the other guy never came forward, never identified.
Probably a tactic.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah. That's what happens when the police do their hands-off approach.
Honestly,
and if we're going to have it that way, just tell us we're going to have it that way. Declare Portland a law-free zone where there will be no police interference. I'd rather have that.
It already is.
I'd rather that be the official stance, so we know for sure that we cannot rely. So it removes that sort of thing
facade
down your list of like what to do in certain situations.
Yeah,
it removes that part where you think, I need to call the police, I need to call someone for help, I need to call the authorities. No, I'm going to wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour. They might show up, they might not. If they even answer 911, there's 28-minute hold times last I knew. So who knows?
There was some talk that
no, this is not current. I got to find somebody who's currently doing something, and I think maybe they all bugged out, right? In fact,
possibly. I think between the tear gas and the rain. Of course, the rain actually helps to tamper down the tear gas.
Yeah. You keep talking because I'm going to see if I can see if Honey Badger can come on. She bogged out. I don't know what happened. I mean, she left.
Maybe she got tear gas in the face or something. That's the driveway there. You kind of see in the center the little lit part. That's the main driveway that cars coming in and out of, delivery trucks come in and out of. That's all boarded up. It's hard to see in this, but that's actually all boarded up along the front there. Which actually the downtown Portland, the Justice Center, as they call it, it's the police station, the county jail, and the preliminary court things. Those are actually still boarded up from the 2020 riots. They were so afraid of the rioters, they actually had to board up those buildings.
You know, in Washington, D.C. today at the No Kings protest, there was somebody who tweeted out, "Oh my gosh, there are snipers on the roof of some federal building," and I thought, oh my gosh, this is a political pivot point. We don't know if we're going to get shot or not, and I thought, this is Washington, D.C. Do you not get that there's snipers on top of the roofs everywhere? Mm-hmm. I mean, it was just, no, it's not because of you, but I do know that, when Antifa did try to burn down St. John's Church, in fact, successfully did it, and then tried to rampage the White House such that the President of the United States and his family had to go to the bunker. I bet you half the people in this broadcast don't even know that. They had to be
this was
secreted to the bunker because they attacked and set on fire the doggone Church of the Presidents. Yeah, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
So this was running up to the election of 2020, what you're talking about here. And I remember that. I remember seeing the ads popping up on my Facebook feed. Gee, I wonder who's paying for the ads.
Right.
I don't remember what the name of it was, but they were openly stating they're going to lay siege to the White House for 60 days.
Oh, it was shut down D.C. Shut down D.C.
That's not an insurrection.
Shut down
D.C. Not treason. It's not treason when they do it.
I know. Shut down D.C.'s Lisa Fithian got in there and gave them all their stuff, trained them up.
Some of you guys might remember. Yeah, they had the White House all surrounded.
Uh-huh. Well, they were trying to get over the fences and stuff.
Trying to get over the fence. Yeah, National Guard was called in.
Yeah.
That's when the president had to go down into the bunker. Somehow it's not unlawful when they do it.
Yeah, it's not insurrection-y when they do it. No, they can't have that. Don't want to have that. It's kind of wild, right? So, I mean, there's so much wrong. There's so much viewpoint discrimination against people who have opinions other than Antifa and far left opinions. And it happens in all the main institutions in the law, in the way the police conduct themselves. But I think we talked about it last time you were on the podcast, which was just recently. And it was, I believe it has to do with the agreements that Portland police and I think 12 other police departments have with the DOJ from 2014, from Ferguson, when Barack Obama started putting the screws on these police departments to be more inclusive. And
that was even earlier. There was like a 2009, 2010 memo, something like that. Maybe you're talking about a different one. There's probably been multiple ones.
Well, the consent decree.
I do remember that. There were.
So Obama went around the country and did consent decrees with police stations and police because they didn't want to get investigated. I mean, which is to say they were already being investigated. They were already under the thumb of the DOJ by these consent decrees. But I would say that was the response to the consent decrees were the pall that went over the way in which Portland Police Bureau treated protesters, and counter-protesters. And they were all different because all of a sudden, certain protesters were given an elevated status and they could do no wrong. Seriously, I mean, that's basically what has happened.
Being one of the main characters around that time. I don't think she's all that active now.
Who?
But Teresa Rayford.
Yeah.
But for about 5-6 years, I referred to her as the unofficial mayor of Portland because nothing happened without her stamp of approval.
Exactly.
And politicians know that if they did not do something that she's going to like, she's going to send out the mobs.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So even though there's no official paper trail, there's no phone calls going on. They know the politicians know what they have to do in order to appease the mobs.
Right. Exactly. They have to appease
These people
the mobs.
are very good at hiding their paper trail. So again, that gets back to, I hope that Pam and Harmeet understand here, you're not going to find massive paper trails between, Bob Day and, for example, Gibson Hughes Thorne, who's one of the behind the scenes organizers. You're not going to see paper trails between them talking about, okay, we're going to do the protest at this time and we need to make sure your officers are way over here on the. You're not going to find anything like that. These people know how to hide their trails. Paper trails can be
They
found.
may just be hiding them out in the open because they have meeting minutes and they have all sorts of things that they've had from these consistently applied and overlapping police watchdog agencies. There is watchdog agencies for the watchdog agencies for the watchdog agencies. Anyway, I'm trying to get a hold of Honey Badger, so continue to chit chat if you want. Let's see. Here, I'll give you some.
Yeah, you're talking about there with DOJ and consent.
Oh, no, here's a coercive thing. No, actually, this isn't coercion. They're goose-stepping behind this guy with like a American flag. Oh, there's a Trump flag, too. No, it's F Trump. So all the all the Teletubbies got around that guy and started, following him, and they laughed and they thought, oh, aren't we clever? Anyway, I'm kind of worried about Honey Badger is what I'm kind of thinking about.
She was still posting stuff on X.
Was she though?
Retweeting other things or re-Xing or whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah, what are we calling that anyway? Do we know yet? I would like Elon Musk to weigh in, and tell us what we're supposed to call this. Because right now it's retweeting. I'm still retweeting.
Yeah, as of 17 minutes ago, she's posted.
Oh, okay. I just texted her, so I will. In fact, I will.
But yeah, well, it's interesting. You talk about the consent decrees and whatnot, and cooperating with DOJ. So what's interesting is, in Oregon, and I'm sure many other jurisdictions, local police and state police are forbidden to work with ICE to go after illegal aliens. Yet these same agencies rely on U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force to go after wanted violent felons. You see that all in Portland police reports. With the assistance of U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force, we were able to locate blah, 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 and safely bring them into custody from some murder that happened, 5 years ago or whatever. So, and again, that goes back to, do Pam and Harmeet know what they're getting into? Because they should immediately cut off these federal contracts with every agency that's not only saying they're not going to comply with ICE, but now we see this agency willfully aiding the people who are attacking ICE. Cut off these agreements that you have with your U.S. Marshals and your FBI coordination for kidnapping and things like that. Cut all that off. Tell them, okay, you're on your own then.
Well, I see a post by Honey Badger Mom. Hold on a second.
Sorry, I
bring it up
about this stuff. So sorry if I get a little animated.
No, I'm fine with that. I
lived it.
Right, I know you've had plenty on your plate here on dealing with the man, if you will. This is.
I mean, the non-specific gender individual.
That's right. Oh yeah, sorry. Whoops. Let's see. I just want to make sure I can get this going here. Share this tab. This is Honey Badger Mom. She's got a GIF or GIF or whatever we're calling it this decade. My poor kid. You know what? It's when I started hearing this word. This is a long time ago, and it was, it's a GIF. It's a GIF. Okay. And then I was corrected. No, it's a GIF now. It's a GIF. Like. I'm sticking with it. You people make up your own mind. Honey Badger apparently has a kid with her, or a kid or something, and that person was overcome by the smell of the tear gas, or was overcome by the tear gas. So there was lots of tear gas. She said it's just out of control. But and then let me just make sure. I want to make sure I get.
Well, I mean, it comes with the territory. If you're going to go down there, you got to expect things like that to happen. I think she understands that. So.
Oh no, she does. But I mean, it's kind of bad. It's you feel bad for her. Now this is the scooter caster lady, and Honey Badger is the one who retweeted her. She goes, this is just out of control. And this is when they went to the munitions. Sorry.
Dude, shrink your messages, dude.
What'd you say?
Shrink your messages.
Oh, sorry.
Jeez.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so this was the biggest thing that happened, and hundreds of people were blocking the ICE thing.
I'm surprised no one else can shot at any of these things lately.
Yeah. Yeah, so they can go there and go, oh, you.
Yeah, what's interesting today is the No Kings protests. This is the most successful protest in the history of America. Even before they had the protest,
Oh,
it
really?
was enough to prevent kings from happening. Now they've
Right.
had the protest. We still have no kings. This is
Yeah.
the most successful protest in history.
It is
They've
successful.
single-personally prevented us from having a king.
Oh, I got to get this thing off. Okay, I'm stopping.
The party whose nominee got exactly 0 votes during the primary and was anointed.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of ironic, isn't
They're
it?
pro-democracy and they don't want kings.
They're saving democracy, Michael. They're saving democracy.
Democracy
by ignoring democracy. They're saving democracy. Okay, well, let's see. I think we're almost done here because there's nothing going on. I don't think. I'm looking at every. Can you look and see some of the live streams?
Yeah, I keep looking. I think between the rain and the tear gas and.
Sorry, I'm bummed that my friend Honey Badger mom is, apparently in the fray, and she sort of went. I mean, I don't know. She went quiet. So I'm concerned. I asked her if she was okay. But then I saw the thing, my kid apparently was with her, she said. And so, not my kid, her kid.
Yeah, I'm looking at the end of Portland Andy's stream here, and things had really died down.
Yeah. Well, that's fine with me. Antifa. Antifa stands for Anti-First Amendment. Antifa. It exists. It has a uniform. They have a code. They have a flag. They have a cannon. They have membership. They have a handbook. They take oaths. And I mentioned they wore a uniform. These are representations of a group of people who are comrades, like that lady in Hillsborough put it. They're comrades in whatever iteration of their belief system they're in at this point in time. And they make it so that other people cannot conduct their lives in the way they would like to conduct their lives because of their comrades and themselves deciding that you have no right to free speech. You have no right to a good night's sleep. You have no right to do your job. You have no right to literally catch the bad guys. And that's one of the reasons, in fact, the chief reason why I wanted to do a live stream tonight to see what was going on. And so the big end, who won? Who won tonight, Mike? Who won?
I don't know. Another draw.
Was it? I mean, I think, if you're tear gassing people and getting them the heck out of there, I'm pretty sure the guys with the bigger tear gas canisters won this.
Just wait till Monday when the courts open and there's 20 different attorneys filing lawsuits against them.
Oh, sure. Like I said, the ICE agents, the feds, I wonder how many FBI agents were in there today in the crowds. And I swear I saw a cop.
Well, when are they going to start hauling these people in? That's my question. If they're in there, if they're getting this intel, what the hell are they waiting for?
Well, it's the same thing that they were doing when you were beaten up and they saw you get beaten up and they didn't do anything. What they're there for is they're there for intel. That's what they're doing. They're building a case. And I think that that's exactly what's happening.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they understand what they're getting into. I hope they understand the depth of the organizations they're dealing with.
Well,
how they operate.
I'm going to go find my
As
story.
I've said before, there's no central leader. They don't operate in a top-down thing. They operate horizontally. So, there's people who are recognized as sort of leaders of sorts who are just, people who have been in it for a while who know how to organize and take the reins. But there's not an official person who's elected president of Antifa who then has, a couple of captains underneath them and then 10 lieutenants underneath that. They operate in horizontal structures. They do that on purpose.
Right.
It helps them retain their anonymity between everyone. A lot of them don't even know each other's real names, which is a good thing. If a good tactical, good strategic thing to do. If one of these sort of community leaders is taken out, well, if they're operating in a horizontal thing and there's 20 different cadres of sorts, one or two of them get taken out, well, you still got 18 more. And then a couple other people are going to rise up because they're going to notice there's a gap there. They're going to take the initiative. They're going to say, okay, I'm going to help organize this here and do that. And so that's how these groups operate.
So day before yesterday, so I did a story for PJ Media about the No Kings connected people. Antifa, Texas ICE snipers arrested for terrorism and ties to No King's protest. And in fact, they did have their ties. They got in touch and they were relating with several of those people. But what the interesting thing is that in July 4th, there were 12 to 20 people who went to the Alvarado Prairie View ICE facility, Alvarado, Texas. It's called the Prairie View ICE facility. And they used fireworks to draw out the ICE agents. The ICE agents didn't fall for it, but they did call the cops. Cops came out. One was shot in the neck, survived. And so the feds arrested 10 people that day. I think they got more later. So the 10 people they took into custody have been either cooling their heels there. A couple of them have been cooling their heels there since July 4th. And this week, these two of the worst offenders were charged with terrorism, material support of terrorism. And they did that, and that can and will happen to others.
I hope so.
They are terrorists. They're domestic terrorists.
Oh yeah, I know. And again, I just hope that Harmeet and Pam can recognize that and go after.
You can't just, you got to build a case. In fact, I will read my story. Now, you can't see it now, but they literally said in the indictment that they said words that were essentially okay, we're a terrorist organization. I mean, that's what they were saying. I'm trying to find the quote. Let's see here.
I'm trying to see.
According to the indictment,
anywhere.
oh yeah, the members of the coordinated with one another using encrypted phone apps and coordinated logistics, mapping out security devices at the ICE facility and other police stations. One Antifa cell member discussed bringing a wagon to carry all their guns and ammo. They had over 50 guns. The goal of the attack was this is the quote from the indictment. The goal of the attack was to destroy U.S. federal property and commit acts dangerous to human life intended to influence the policy of the U.S. government and affect government conduct by intimidation and coercion. And that is exactly the definition of domestic terrorism. Mm-hmm. And so they got them. And so I don't know what they've got on these guys. They're probably collecting info. There was one guy I swear looked like a cop in there today. And I thought, does anybody know that guy's a cop? I wanted to just.
Well, they thought I was a cop a lot of times back when I used to go to these
I suppose so. Yeah, they probably thought you were working on some narcotics street team or something. I don't even know. Well, listen, Mike, it's been fun. I'm glad nobody got hurt worse than they did with the pepper and tear gas. So pepper spray and tear gas. So have you ever been pepper sprayed?
Not directly, but I have run through pepper spray and tear gas at these events in the past.
Did you used to carry some sort of mask with you? Like a gas mask?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they all do now. I'm talking about both reporters and bad guys.
Yeah, if I was out there today, I'd probably do that, yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks very much for hanging in there. The few people who have, that's been fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. We'll do it again. I mean, if this stuff keeps up, we will. We'll just have a streamathon. And Mike, thanks so much for taking your time tonight. I appreciate it.
For having me.
Thank you. And we'll see you on Tuesday on the Adult in the Room podcast. Thanks so much. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode of the Adult in the Room podcast. We do not take you for granted. We appreciate every single person who tunes in every week to listen and watch this program. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday, live streaming on Rumble, and then on every other podcast platform shortly thereafter when we can port it over and get it over there as soon as we can. All the shows can be found at victoriataft.com, where the censorship regime has been banned by me. Follow me on social media at these names: Victoria Taft, the Adult in the Room podcast, and the Victoria Taft Show. Send media inquiries, or any others for that matter, to victoria@victoriataft.com. And here's a big ask. Would you please subscribe, share, like, comment, recommend, and give this program a 5-star rating where you can? We really appreciate it. We do not take that for granted either. Follow my work at, you guessed it, victoriataft.com. PJ Media, I write tons over there. Flamingo Audiobooks, and of course the radio. I don't do this alone. This show is produced and engineered by Overall Media. 1A Cast is responsible for some of the Adult in the Room podcast's imaging. Logo design by Hageman Creative. The Adult in the Room podcast is produced at Flamingo Road Studios. All rights reserved.